I can see that.
Yeah, a real chainsaw too, by the way. It's running during the mocap video, so it's pretty easy to scare people when he's chasing with real chainsaws.
I mean, even when I was doubling RA in the movie, anytime it was a live chainsaw with a chain on it, it was me as Leatherface. If it was not live or it had no chain, then it was RA. And it wasn't that he couldn't handle it. It was just a liability situation. If somebody gets hurt, at least production went with the necessary steps to make it as safe as possible. So.
Speaking of that day, that was my favorite day. And as I'm walking back up, they had all the doors of the mocap stage open. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, we were running a chainsaw, and now the whole room is full of smoke, so we had to clear it out. You guys walking around like this.
Girls are screaming, and
yeah,
he's chasing people.
Just two-stroke smoke everywhere. That was a good day.
But yeah, so she runs into the arms of Sissy at the end of the game, and obviously that's not a great idea. You look nice and friendly, but yes.
Sissy's biggest trick is being disarming, and
Like a lot of serial killers.
Right, Maria pretty much quickly realizes that she's not quite so safe. After her encounter with Sissy, though, she does end up falling prey to Johnny on the porch with a leather face coming out of the house. And that brings us to Damien down there on the end, providing the voice for the psychopath.
So what's interesting is we have a mixture of people who did the mocap and the voice, and then we have people who just did the mocap, and then maybe another person did the VO. So Damien just did the VO. We have an awesome guy named Doug Beer who did the mocap for Johnny. Big shout out to him, and we'll probably share some of his video later on, but he really brought that character to life in a physical sense. And then that allowed Damien to come in and just concentrate on the VO. It was a 4-hour session, right? For Damien, I think, just in the booth, trying to sound like a serial killer and a maniac. And so yeah,
and he was natural at it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, so prior to that, I played a couple of killers in there, but they're very silent. So I was like, wait, you guys are gonna let me do the killing, and this guy never shuts them up? Like that's great.
We really wanted to get the mask off you.
Yes.
Honestly, Damien is a great actor, and he's so awesome in every film you've been in. Basically, you never had your mask off except for
Wrong turn.
Yeah,
it
wrong
comes
turn.
off. Wrong turn. It comes off.
Yeah.
Well, Han, it comes off, but then it's worse. Underneath. Yeah, but I mean, Johnny is. I'm a nice person. I have kids. I rescued a dog. He's evil. But so, these guys are the most fun to play. That's, and Johnny, he just enjoys what he does. And he's just pure evil. And he's the kind of, he never stops taunting and playing with his food and wants you to run because he's going to catch you. He's arrogant. He's a beautiful specimen of human nature. And I mean, that is just so much fun. And, I also, I wasn't much of a serial killer dog. I mean, I knew that Berkowitz talked to dogs, and that was about it. But so I started watching these guys, and that was, that takes you down there. I mean, there are people like that out there. And so it's just a lot of fun. And I think playing as Johnny, you're going to kind of get wrapped up in that fun. And as long as you just leave it with the video game, I think that's okay. But it was a lot of fun to do. Yes, that's it. It's like, I've never done voiceover before, like that. So, but like ADR for movies is probably my least favorite thing. It's like, you're jumping out of an exploding airplane, or jump on a dinosaur and ride off towards, a killer rabbits. And it's like, all right, get in the booth and recreate this moment. And, it's difficult to do so with the voiceover stuff. It's like, all right, she's running away now. You got her. Like, okay, yeah, I can visualize this because, I'm okay. I'm around the head, but I can see doing it.
So I have to give Damien a lot of props here. So as you can tell, Damien's funny. He's a mild-mannered guy. He's a good dude. But we got him in the booth. We're like, all right, Damien, we need you to pretend you're cutting someone's heart.
It's not just cutting people up. It's
absolutely.
It's the way you talk. Johnny's very confident and he plays with his victims. So
Look my knife.
he's never
Have
really
it?
angry or mad. He's just cold and he'll follow you. He'll tell you about it. You're in the game. You're trying to escape him. He'll be like, where are you going?
Yeah, so he's
He's like, don't worry, I like it when they run. You know, and he's pursuing you. You're like, oh my God, leave me alone. And then you hear her cackling, her singing around the corner. And if you didn't know, we have multiple killers in our game at once. So we have 3 killers on the map at once instead of 1 like we did in Fight 13. So these maniacs are all 3 at the same time pursuing you. And if you hear them coming, they're talking to you, trying to hide and get with your friends and figure out where Leatherface is. And you hear Sissy singing random lyrics from songs she knows. And then you hear Damien talking, like, I know you're here somewhere. And you're like, oh my God. It's quite the experience to be stalked and pursued by 3 of these people because really their voices and their performance during the mocap and in the VO sessions is creepy.
Yeah, it was really just awesome just to hear the transition of everything. It sounded like this turned out to be we've been working on for years and years. And the switch was like, oh my gosh, you're creeping me out. Perfect, keep the cut.
Nothing like
And same
sitting
thing
on
with
Michael
Christina.
Myers.
You know, Christine, we need to really encapsulate that creepy vibe. And it's funny, Christina can sing, but we would be like, she can legit
She can sing too
actually
good,
sing.
which is a problem. And I have to say this because she was really worried that people might think that she can't sing based on this game. We were like, okay, you're like a 10 out of 10. We need you like a 1. Sissy thinks she can sing. But really, it's like mumbling and talking to yourself, and she's breaking out. It's like an opera singer. I'm like, okay. She's like, people are gonna think I can't sing. I'm like, just ask me. She can sing, but not in this game very well. It's my fault.
That was the hardest part of the performance was trying to sing badly. Because if you have like an ear for if you have it and you're like no that's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. I can't do that. But yeah.
But the performance actually worked out great because when you're playing the game and you hear her singing off to the right headphones, like, what's going on? That's so terrifying. So Christina can sing and it's awesome.
I said I'm only coming down to Scarefest if you say that 10 times.
Is that going to be on the box?
It's in the
That
contract.
Christina can sing?
Christina can actually sing on the box.
Disclaimer.
Christina, I have a question. So, when you played Sissy yesterday, and you saw your mocap and everything, how'd that feel? Did you get to hear your character singing and talking?
Yeah, no, I thought it was so. I was impressed by the visuals. Extremely impressed by the visuals. I mean, mostly I was very distracted by the very beautiful sunset. I was like, if I play this game, like all I'm gonna do is want to look at the sunset the whole time. Like, I'll probably just get killed all the time. But no, the character, it was so cool. The character was awesome, and I think my reaction was, this is really violent. And they're all like, well, Christina, you did the kills and the voice for this. Don't you know it's violent? I'm like, yeah, but this is really violent. Like, this is like close up, like, wow. So, I was.
But it's a family game.
Rated M for mature.
It's a family game. We're all in it together. We're all loyal family members.
Same question goes for you. Okay, like you've seen yourself in the videos and you've seen the game and yourself as Leatherface, all the little mannerisms that you did, and you were friends with Gunner, and how close you were with him. How's that feel to kind of be Leatherface now in the video game and see yourself?
It's amazing. I feel like I'm honoring Gunner as much as I possibly could because it was with him that I started doing this kind of stuff. After part 7 came out and people were interested in having me come to events and stuff, I went to Spooky World in Berlin, Mass with Gunner. And the very first year that place opened, it was myself, Gunner, and Butch Patrick. And it was surreal because I had never done autograph stuff before. So it's so much fun to see yourself animated. And I don't know if it's just me, but it seems to me that gaming and animation technology has improved since the game of Pong.
Just a little bit.
How many people remember Pong? Wow, really? I was the champ at that.
What do you remember it from?
He has a retro version.
I invited him to.
But it's just, and I was just asking Ronnie if it's okay to talk about There's another character that I did some mocap for within the game.
Yeah. So you know Grandpa's in our game. And oddly enough, we got to the mocap studio, we didn't have a Grandpa. It's one of those things you overlook because he doesn't get up and walk around, right? Grandpa's, they carry him around the film like, oh God, we don't have a Grandpa. How did we overlook this? So we're like, Kane.
Rob said, Kane's old as shit, so let's have him do it.
Yeah. So, you know, he's sitting in the rocking chair and like holding the hammer. And it's pretty funny to see Kane
Filthy mouth, man.
sat in the chair. So little tip. Kane's actually Grandpa too, which he did a great job. So he's in the trailer. If you want to check it out again when you get home. But yeah.
When I was playing yesterday, I was like, is that Kane? Is Grandpa?
Is that Kane's own ass in there? Yeah.
You couldn't hear me because Christina was like, I can't
And
believe
what's
what
funny-
we're doing.
What's even better is in our game you can feed Grandpa, and if you feed him blood, you level him up, and he gives you new abilities. He unlocks new things for the family, and he also sends out this like sonar, like Eye of Sauron type of pulse where he's looking for the victim. So you should definitely feed him blood and level him up. But we did the mocap where people are feeding Kane like little barrels, like little things of blood, and he's trying to drink it like a little bird, and it's pretty funny to see him in that.
I'm really cute.
He's really cute, but
The best part about it was he went from being Leatherface to being Grandpa like,
Yeah.
within minutes.
Yeah.
You know, mocap suits, they don't really translate well to that. So it's a big murderer with a chainsaw, and then he's Grandpa, baby bird
getting
with
fed blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So, to continue on with this, the community has really started to see this Maria Flores story play out with our new characters here. One of the things I think is really interesting is when the community broke this whole moment and figured out this riddle and therefore found our new killers, there was a definite shift, a definite split between the player base where some folks said, oh, well now I kind of want to take on these roles, Sissy, Johnny, you know, I want to be them. And then the other portion of the community said, wow, I really want to get revenge for Maria. So we're starting to see this really great divide between the people who want to experience that and the people who want to maybe put a stop to that. And I kind of wanted to get some feelings from, since we've got 3 of the family members sitting up here, from them about how they feel about getting into the role of a villain, and how they feel playing the role of a villain, knowing that there's going to be 50% of that crowd that's going to be like, we got to get this person, and the other 50% is like, I kind of want to tinker with being a psychopath.
It's awesome because, yeah, like you said yesterday, you go to our Discord and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm a sissy maid now, or she's so cute. Oh my God, I love her character. I'm like, you know, she's
There's a lot of oh my God, they're hot.
yeah,
That's
it's
been
been like,
a-
oh my God, Johnny.
That's being directed to my character. of
Right.
course.
Grandpa.
Look at how hot
Grandpa.
Leatherface is.
Yeah, but then it's also like, oh my God, I hate you even more now because you're killing the girls that I love, or the female characters or the guy characters. So they kind of hate you, but they love you at the same time.
I mean, I'm all about that. I was just complaining yesterday that we don't see enough lines around the block for women killers in iconic horror movies. In fact, I don't know any except for Elvira, really. Like, they can really, and I'm waiting. I mean, I love playing the killer, but I'm waiting for, like, that iconic movie to come around where it's a woman, a masked woman.
Who wins an Oscar for her performance in Monster.
Strangers.
But the
Charlize
convention,
Theron.
I know, but the convention world, the monsters in our movies like Halloween, like the Michael Myers, the Jasons, the Freddys, you know, an icon. I want a movie to create a female icon. And so in that way, I'm so glad I get to play the killer as a woman. You know, I hate to make it down gender lines, but and again, I've played a couple great roles like this, so I've been very lucky. It's because I'm just probably crazy. I don't know. So people maybe don't see me as a woman. I don't know. But no, I just think that it would be so great, yeah, to have that somewhere down the line. So create that movie, somebody please. Write that character, and you can cast me. I love playing a killer. So I love playing a killer. I don't mind. I played the victim. I played the killer. I think it all evens out in the end. And
More fun to kill, I think.
it is more fun to
Yeah.
kill. It is more fun to kill. What am I saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think some of you guys know I did that movie Monster with Charlize. She won an Oscar for the performance playing a real serial killer. And that was just amazing to witness, because that was a low budget, 4 or 5 week shoot was all it was. 4 weeks, I think, shooting in Orlando. And that's a very modest film to get the acclaim that it did. It was because of her performance and, you know, the history of the
Oh yeah. I read what Chelsea said, yes.
Eileen Wuornos persona.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing. I love her. So let's do more of that.
Yeah. So now,
Kane's gonna be the victim in the next one. I'm gonna be the killer, and he's gonna be the victim, okay?
that was actually where I was going to take this next. I was going to say, we all know that Kane plays the villain well. That's what we're all here for, right? We know Damien has done an amazing job of playing multiple villains. So now, I don't know, I think we need like an alternate universe where you guys are both the helpless victims. That'd be cool. We need Sissy to stalk the,
All right, okay. Just let me know when to show
I
up.
like nobody's clapping. This is why this hasn't worked.
It's stunned. There you go.
That was a condescending clap, Riley.
I'm just putting it into the ether, and in 30 years, we're gonna sit here on the stage, and there's gonna be like some crazy iconic like.
So then, but is it a final boy at the end? The final guy?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That could be me, because I'm
Let's,
too
let's,
old.
I think flip everything on its
I
head.
could play the principal or something.
Yeah.
The dean, janitor.
Who is that guy in the green?
She played in Paul.
And Damien.
What's
So
the movie?
playing the character, people are lusting over Johnny, and you know, they're like, yeah, kill me, daddy, and all this stuff.
Kill me, daddy, or zaddy,
Which Kane
which
would you
I've
want?
heard. A lot of zaddy.
People love you
Zaddy.
and they hate you, by the way. So you know.
It's a love-hate thing going on, but it's more fun to play the killer. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I've not seen a whole bunch of survivors here, or victims. I think everyone here is kind of wanting to play the killer in some form.
You've gotten that before, though, in Strangers and Hunt. I would assume people love you with that outfit and that character. And
They love that, and you know, in like, just you know, in horror movies like Haunt, which has wonderful performances. You know, I remember talking to Will Britton, who's a tremendous actor, and he's you know the main guy in the movie, and he was talking to me, and he was envious that I get to play the killer, and I was like, guy, your face is out there, your dialogue, your character, there's little art and stuff, and you'll go on to other things, but he was like, it's so much more fun to do feature. I was like, we can switch paychecks. Why don't you just give me your money? But I mean, that's it's more fun. It's more fun. I'll play Dean Wormer in Christina's slasher movie, but you know, I'll know that she's having more fun. You know, no problem.
Well, at this point, I think that it would be good for us to get a little bit of Q&A going.
yeah,
We have a crowd up here, but this mic situation is.
we're gonna have to turn one mic towards the, or have some help. Maybe Andy can do this.
I'm going
If
to
you want to walk up and
sacrifice
start
my
asking
microphone.
questions, you can form a line, I guess.
Andy, everyone, Andy.
Andy, who also works with us, by the way.
Couldn't do it without him. Said he was going home last night, and I found him out at some bar.
Oh, what's he doing?
Sorry about that. This is on.
What was the question?
What's going on, boss? What's your name?
My name is Lucas. I wanted to ask Kane a question.
Yes.
What was your experience working on Jason X? I know some people don't like it. I think it's a lot of fun myself. What was your take on that?
I mean, as far as being treated properly, that was the best I've had, because it was my 4th film, so they thought I was kind of worthwhile, and we shot for 3 months, which is unusual. 12-week shoot on a modest, somewhat modest budget.
That's
And
nice.
you know, when I first read the script, I thought, oh, Jason in space. But then I thought, well, I guess it really doesn't matter the setting as long as I make the character consistent. And you know, it's got a great kill with the frozen head, and it's a fun movie. You know, if you watch it for what it is, and not expect like the old feel of the films, I think it's decent. And it has some fun stuff in it. We were able to bring back the sleeping bag kill for you know, old time's sake, and so I have no problem with it. I mean, it's certainly not what we're used to, but you know, it's the 10th movie.
At least you weren't hiding in a pipe.
Well, thank you, Ron Jeremy, everyone.
That's awesome. That's a compliment.
You should not know who he is, sir.
You do.
How you doing? What's your name, boss?
Right. Now that the litigation's over with, is there a possibility of a Friday 13th 2 or maybe a reboot for the game?
Yeah. I'm not allowed to talk.
All we can say in terms of that is currently the team's focusing on making the Texas Chainsaw Massacre the best game that we can. At Gun, we take a very specific approach to our titles. They're obviously highly detailed, highly authentic projects that they require our full attention. So right now our full attention is obviously on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, making sure that that game not only is the best it can be at launch, but continues to have a long life for potential community going forward.
And regarding the chances of another film, I personally have not been told directly that all the litigation is gone. I've heard rumors that they say, but I haven't been told that, so I don't believe it until Sean Cunningham calls me and says, hey, we got it figured out, we'll do one more movie. And no, I guess it's a little self-serving, but as a horror fan, I try to look at it that way. I think it'd be cool as hell to have him come back one more. And, you know, again, that's kind of self-serving, I know, but what other person would you think of? Somebody that played the character 4 times before, or a new guy? I don't know. I can still kill some motherfuckers.
Do you have one more question?
Don't doubt it, sir. You're already on thin ice.
This one's for Kane. The physicality of doing the Friday 13th game, was it different from doing the physicality of the Texas Chainsaw? Was it a little less strenuous to you, or was it the same?
I mean, parts of it are the same, but it's a totally different character, and I tried to make the performance that, where it's not like, oh, that's Kane as Jason again, you know, when I'm Leatherface. So it's somewhat challenging. You tend to go to old habits sometimes, and then people like Ronnie will say it's a little much like Jason, and I'm totally fine hearing that kind of stuff, and you know, to make the performance what we want it to be.
Yeah, and just at its heart, I think Jason is obviously a completely different character. He has these brutal kills where we were picking people up over their head, and we needed suspension, we needed all these rigs. Leatherface really doesn't do that. He has like a hammer in the film and a chainsaw, so he's a very kind of a different killer, but definitely not a lot of like WWE moves.
I've done runs with her against the wall and pins her. I'm like, that is such a badass scene.
It's ricocheting off the plate in your head.
So, I think we're getting the wrap up here. So, first off, we wanted to say Oh,
Because like they had to clarify, like, oh yeah, don't make it.
Online
I
play.
always see everything like if there's a match to play.
What's it gonna be like for
So I seen you see it's a match.
yeah, online play like
Or
Should
it
be.
might be a live show. People thinking that
there'll be 7 survivors and 3 killers.
actually, our Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a 4 versus 3. So we've got 4 victims versus our 3 family members each match. You'll be able to queue up on your preference. You can queue up with a group of your friends to play as family or victims. And we really kind of felt that that was a good way to, not only for the design of the game, which I'll let Ronnie speak to, but in terms of the community and how the community reacts to that, it's nice to be able to take a group of your friends into a match to play on that killer side. Whereas in most of these asymmetrical horror games, you have one killer, or kind of in a solo experience if that's all you're out for. So with our 3 family members in each match. But yes,
Yeah, it's multiplayer, so it's
100%
online.
Yeah.
Very similar to Friday the 13th in that regard of it's strictly online. But yeah, it's the reason we did multiplayer is because that's what we're great at also. It comes down to we wanted you to try to survive against Leatherface with your friends. We wanted you to try to survive against the new family members. And, you know, when you're playing on a team of family members and you're strategizing and splitting up and trying to work together to kill people, that's a very weird experience that you're not used to doing. On the flip side, you're trying to escape people with your friends. So it's multiplayer, yes, and it's team-based multiplayer. It's this.
I wanted to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us for this panel. I also wanted to remind you, you can go now at any point and check out pedalsgame.com to check out that Maria story. And also, please do stop by all of our casts and tables. There's exclusive concept art for each one of their characters out there. Stop by, check it out, and make sure you say hey to them. So yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks Scarefest for having us.
He should be the one.
Like Freddy vs. Jason, but I don't like that Jason at all.
I don't like him either. I like the movie.
Because they're supposed to be Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
But then they stopped because they were like saying, oh yeah, Kane Hodder was too fat. This and
There's
that.
so many crazy stories about stuff.